Hey y'all, welcome back to Spirit of the Outdoors. Thought I'd do a quick short tutorial on sharpening knives. Obviously most of the time when I sharpen a knife, the first thing I do is run it over one of these belt grinders and get it close to an edge to make sure the angle is what I naturally use. Now the critical thing about sharpening a knife, same thing with any kind of metal, is you start rough, then you go to something a little finer, and then you go to something a little finer. Well, obviously old Jonah is already to that. I have not really sharpened Jonah in a while. Now I keep a little diamond stone right here on my belt. I have got a host of sharpeners. This is a new sharpener that I got. It has 4 different grits on it. I have not really needed the rough ones. You'd have to have a really dull knife to need it. This is a little honing rock that obviously you can just kind of, and it's very rough too, but you know, forget you out of a bind. I favor the blue, and I'm not sure exactly what grit it is, but this is the same thing right here that I have one of these that the handles had broke on, that I've got under my sheath right here. So, but ultimately when I'm going to really try to sharpen my knife, I like this Lansky stone. I don't know what grit it is. I purchased this when I was at Smoky Mountain Knife Works several years ago. So what I do is I go over here and I've got a sponge thing. I dip in water. I use that to cool knife blades, and I just rub that over that, and it cleans it. If this starts getting really dark, I take a Scotch-Brite Brillo pad and I make sure that my stone is free of any kind of metal and stuff in there, and clean that. So if I was taking a brand new knife like this one, I have already sharpened it earlier today. I don't have a piece of paper, I don't think, just laying here. I've got some envelopes there. I got a piece right here. Oh, here's some junk mail. That's what we need right here. Discover card. I mean, that just look. I got this one sharp. I'm telling you, like, so you can cut the end off of that. So, and this is a knife y'all hadn't seen yet. I'm going to build a fringed buckskin type sheath for it. I hadn't put no pictures of it out there. So, if this knife had not had anything done to it, I would run it over my belt grinder and get it rough, and then I would take probably this 600 grit and go over it some with there. But I have done got it down to, I mean, I've been using it. So let's say you've been using it and all of a sudden it gets to where it don't cut good. Right now it won't take hair off my arm. It kind of will if I push. The critical thing is get to the angle that you want. I'll bring you up here in a second and get you close. So what you want to do is you want to look and make sure when you lay this up there, if you lay it flat, you see there's a big giant crack you stick your fingernail under. That's the blade flat down. Roll it over till you feel this blade hit. Okay, well you still got a crack under there where your edge is. So you want to roll it up until you find that crack. Well, I know about naturally what this is. So then I take this, and on that wet stone, this stone's pretty smooth. It is a good stone. You want to stay at the same angle. I've seen people, you do all this circling and dragging it. Any of it will work. It is not critical. This is my preferred method right here. 1 stroke each way. And you want to make sure you're getting it to staying at the same angle. So when you buy a knife and it gets dull the first time, a lot of times it'll take you a lot longer to get it sharp, because your natural angle, if you're doing it free-handed like this, may not be what the knife maker put on there. But once you sharpen it down to your natural way of holding it and get it sharp, then a few good licks on something should get you back to sharp. So I have gotten mine pretty dull because I am constantly cutting cardboard boxes, cutting in the dirt, cutting wires, not really cutting a wire, but cutting rubber coating on wire, so you rubbing it through copper, and I mean, there's no telling what I cut. I'll cut my meat up on my plate, and a ceramic plate will dull a knife faster than anything. When you cut through meat into a plate, that plate's dulling your knife. So if you eat with your knife a lot, that may be why you struggle to keep it sharp. But with a fine stone, you're taking it down to a pretty smooth edge. So when you look at it with a microscopic look, if it's a rough stone, you're going to have jagged edges. Well, you can stick it up to a tomato, and man, it'll saw through it just like that. But you cut 2 or 3 times, and all of a sudden that rolls over a little bit. All of a sudden it don't stay sharp very long. Well, it ain't always that the steel is not good, it's that the edge wouldn't sharpen right. Sharpen it down on a smooth stone to where it's a smooth cut, and it'll last longer, provided you comparing the same steel to the same steel. So let me get my envelope. Let's see if I got Jonah sharp again like I want it. Nah, it ain't sharp as that other one. I can tell you right now it ain't. I've got some notebook paper here. I think I tore out a couple of pieces. Now, notebook paper is a little harder to freehand cut than copy paper because printer paper, copier paper is a little bit thicker. But it's still cutting it. But you can see it cut a jagged edge. Let's put a little more on it. Let me wet this again. So what that water does is help remove your particles. Otherwise your stone will get coated with metal in there and it'll get real slick feeling. So you wash the metal particles away and the water will help remove that. And you can feel when it is cutting metal. Yeah, it's pretty sharp now. So, anyway, this is just a little tip on sharpening your knife and getting it sharp. A lot of times, now I have a long leather belt. And what that'll do is buff that. Now here I run them over my knife buffer and smooth that edge up some. So that is the purpose of me having this really long belt. A lot of people ask me why that belt's so long. Well, that is the reason. So anyway, that's just a short little video on doing this, and I'm experimenting with a camera I have had, but I bought me some rechargeable batteries, so I'm playing with my camera too. And I thought, well, this evening I would throw up you a little quick video. So thank y'all for watching Spirit of the Outdoors. Remember, the best way to do things is the way you like to do it. We'll see y'all. Y'all have a good one.